Hi, welcome to another Time Travel with Travis. I'm Travis Childs, the Director of Education at the History Museum here in South Bend, and I'm your St. Joseph County historian. We are standing in front of what is the Engman Public Natatorium. It was an indoor swimming pool, and it was designated as public. However, it was public only for a certain group of individuals. When it was built in 1922 and opened, it was the largest indoor pool in Indiana. It's so large, in fact, that Notre Dame's swimming team at the time would come here to practice, and a lot of the other high schools around the area would come here to practice, the swimming team's practice. It was the only large facility available for that. However, with the influx of African Americans coming from the South to gain a better opportunity here in the North, they found jobs, but they had a lot of problems with finding places to live. And also they had a huge problem here with the natatorium. Even though there's public inscribed above the door, they were not allowed to swim here. No African Americans were allowed to swim here from 1922 until 1936. In 36, after a lot of public pressure around here and a lot of the African American community got together and put pressure on the city, did they allow African Americans to swim here, but only one day a week. There are people still living that remember swimming here and being discriminated against and only being able to swim here for one day out of a week. And then it was open for everybody else the rest of the week. However, with more pressure and eventually by 1950, after 14 years of being basically segregated, by 1950, they finally opened up swimming to everybody, and it finally became the actual public natatorium. So everybody was allowed to swim at that point. Time goes on. It takes a lot of money to run a pool. Some of you I know have outdoor pools. It is an enormous amount of cost for chemicals. And when you've got so many people in and out of the pool all the time and being indoors and being heated, there was a lot of expense. Well, by 1963, when Studebaker left town, the tax base and the people living here, all the tax base whittled down to almost nothing. That caused a huge problem for the natatorium here, and the city could no longer afford to keep the pool open. And so by 1978, they closed the natatorium. Eventually, the actual pool part was torn off the back of this building, which is kind of like the lobby, the reception hall. And it sat vacant, basically. It was unused for 30 plus years until a group of IUSB, Indiana University South Bend students and professors, started collecting stories of African Americans from this neighborhood and other neighborhoods here in South Bend and Mishawaka about their life. And the natatorium kept coming up. Well, they got all together with help from the community, help from the city, help from IU. They were able to open this up and refurbish it and reuse it as a civil rights heritage center to teach upcoming generations about what went on here, as far as even being in the extreme North. African Americans were still discriminated against even here. So that's what the natatorium is today, the Civil Rights Heritage Center in association with Indiana University South Bend. The South Bend Heritage Foundation got together and they finally did the ribbon cutting ceremony in 2010. And it's been opened ever since through the help with IUSB and their staff and professors. And it is a great anchor to the West Washington Street neighborhood here, as were our history museums a part. And we enjoy having them as neighbors. So that is the public natatorium, the Engman Public Natatorium. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you learned a little something. You come out here and you take a look. It's not that far from your house. It's a quick drive. You can come see it for yourself. It's great. It's got great architecture, and it's a great facility and a great story here for South Bend. I'm Travis Childs. I'll see you next time on Time Travels with Travis.